take us back to times when lives were similar and times that all seemed easier. Don't be afraid, I'll be the one to guide you through this endless maze. Don't look so sad, your crying eyes won't dry. You gotta drive with both headlights so we can see the world and we'll run away together like things that we could be. I'll drown us in the purple drapes that you were clothed in. We could live like royalty. I'll sing to you like a radio that's held beneath your window. Don't look so sad, your crying eyes won't dry. You gotta drive with both headlights so we can see the world and we'll run away together like
guys, just testing my microphone. How's everyone doing today? Thank you so much for being early. I'm going to start the stream very soon. While I get everything ready, feel free to check out my Twitter. It's JennaCloudTV, and send me a like and a retweet on my latest post. You get to see my ugly ass hands. My hands are actually really ugly. I just noticed it. After I made the post, I was like, oh my god. Maybe I should have photoshopped my hands so it looked kind of nicer. Camille! Aww, I love it. I love it that you're using my Gen emotes. Remember to hook up your Discord together with your with your Twitch so that you can start using those emotes also in Discord as well. Hi Avosa, welcome back. Slap, of course I remember you. Welcome back to the stream. So good to see you here. That's okay, Avosa. Just you know, chill out, sit back. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. I'm looking for some people to join me for the news panel. Otherwise, I'm just gonna solo this. Kenneth, welcome back. Alright guys, remember I will give you guys a shout out for those of you that like and retweet my post from today. 1 year, 2 months. Wow, Vilsa, it's been a long ride. Shiki will be looking out for those of you that are going to be joining me on the news panel. We have first preference for subs and Patreons only because you guys have been supporting the stream, and I would like to kind of, this is my way of saying thank you. Alright guys, I'm coming live in 5, 4, 3, 2, and the onesies. Hi everyone, welcome back to the stream. It's a little bit different. I feel like my lips are a little bit red. I always get really self-conscious every single time I turn on my camera, so thank you so much for being here, for putting up with the late stream as usual. And I had a little bit of a nap. I was really tired in the afternoon, so that's why I started a little bit late. When I say afternoon, I actually just mean evening, because it's 9 o'clock now. And it took me about a whole hour to kind of, actually more than an hour to start the stream. I don't know why it takes me so long to get everything set up. I know there should be like a much faster way to do this. Hi Ivano, welcome back. Kenneth, thank you very much. It is almost 10 o'clock. So today we're going to be doing a new stream, and if we've got time then we can play some HoTs. Again, just a reminder that we're doing a sub/Patreon movie night on Thursday nights when I don't usually have stream. Let me just turn off this music because it's getting a little bit annoying to have to kind of talk over it. Anthony91, welcome back. Oh my god! It is our 1 year anniversary, Anthony! Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you supporting the stream for a whole freaking year, Anthony. You are MVP, and I'm gonna add you to the MVP list. Can we please have some love and hugs, some gentle love and gentle hugs to welcome back Anthony91. Haven't been here as much as I should be. That's okay. I know you've got real life stuff to do, so I'm just happy that you're here to kind of like celebrate the 1 year with me. So I'm just gonna put you down, Anthony91. MVP for being a 1 year supporter of the stream. Thank you so much. You are so appreciated. It makes me super happy. Monjay says your hair looks nice. Thank you very much. It's like I still haven't washed it since Saturday. Like, truth be told, I'm not supposed to wash my hair more than once a week. Camille, thank you so much for that, host. Camille, do you actually stream? You've got 8 viewers watching your channel. Thank you so much for tuning in from Camille's stream. Maybe it's all your other subs, sorry, all your other Twitch accounts, right? Because I know Chamomile has like 1, 2, 3, two other Twitch accounts or something. Hey Krishna, welcome back. And Monjay, of course, welcome back as well. Let me just give a shout out to these people who have liked and retweeted my post. You guys are amazing people. So a big shout out to Spanky Hunter, as usual, always liking my tweet. You are amazing. Kemal, thank you so much for liking my tweet. Shout out to you. Australia streamer community, big shout out to you. Thank you so much. I've seen you liked my tweet a few times as well. Kuroshiki, who created Twitter just to like and retweet my post, so thank you so much, Shiki, for being the best mod ever. Alex Dang, Flame as CSGO, thank you so much for liking my tweet. Big shout out to you. And Henry Bertrand, always without fail, you know, every few times when you're watching the stream, you always give me that like and retweet as well, so thank you so much. Also to the Dutch Viper, big shout out to you, and Shogun Rommel, big shout out to you as well. Thank you guys, you're amazing. And Shogun, thank you so much for that retweet. What does he say? What does he say? Jenna in action and so modest. Thank you so much. If you haven't already yet, please check out my mirror selfie. I don't even know what to call it. I felt really weird because I've seen other people do it, like the whole like, you know, take a selfie through the mirror thing. I'm not very good at that. That was my very first one, and when I looked at it, I realized my hands are actually really ugly. I've got really long hands. Like my hands are like as long as my face, kind of, almost. And I should have learned how to play the piano with these fingers because it's super long. Like I think my finger is longer than my palm. You know what I mean? Like, are your fingers longer than your palm? Is that like normal? Like my middle finger is like longer than my palm. It's like this long. So this is my middle finger, right? And then when I compare it to my palm, it's like longer, right? Do you guys have the same thing, or am I just like a weirdo? Of course I still remember you, Kenneth. You asked me like 10 times today. Hi to WC, you're saying that it's normal? So my hands are normal? Fingers are normal? You think yours is the same length but they're slightly wider? I'm weird, Rowett Stanny. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I always thought that my fingers were really long. Like, does your hand cover your face? I should have played flute. I actually did play the flute. No, I didn't bring my flute up. I think my flute's in Melbourne. I played the flute for 3 years. But don't ask me to play the flute. I am terrible at musical instruments. I just got a new notification that just came through. Day Day, thank you so much for liking my tweet. It feels good. It feels good to have so much love from my community. Thank you so much, guys. If your hand covers your face, you have cancer. What? Avi, what the hell? Welcome back. What instrument do I play? Just flute. I used to play the keyboard when I was a kid. Teaching myself guitar. Like, I'm just mediocre at everything that I learned. So, like, I'm really good at like uni subjects and studying. I'm not very good at musical instruments. I have Instagram. My Instagram is JennaCloudTV. Twitter, Instagram are all JennaCloudTV. My YouTube is also JennaCloudTV. Yeah, all that social media stuff. Please check it out. Like it or follow it or whatever it's called. I do have an Instagram for my cats as well. There's a special one over there. Kingspeak, thank you so much for your follow. Hivano says my cat is pregnant. I didn't know your cat was Cersei. Spoiler alert. Oh, okay. Alright, so I have been the last 2 weeks, right? I have been so freaking obsessed with Game of Thrones. I don't know who else is obsessed with Game of Thrones. Type 1 on the stream chat. I want to see who are my Game of Thrones buddies here, so we can like theory craft. I want to theory craft about Game of Thrones. I need to find like a whole bunch of people who are passionate about Game of Thrones that I can like talk about the entire time. Fadat this. You're not even subbed. Shush you. Shush. Separate Instagram for my cat. Yeah, check out the Instagram for my kittens. They are adorable, and I kind of separated out because I don't know, like, if I have lots of cats on my own Instagram, people will say I'm a crazy cat lady. People already think I'm a crazy cat lady. So do pregnancy test works on cats? I don't know. I'm assuming they have different hormones and stuff, and I think human pregnancy test is based on the hormones in your pee stream. Yeah, don't quote me on that. I've never taken a pregnancy test. Let me just see. I might have missed a few of your messages, so just bear with me. Do I like cooking? I don't. I hate cooking, but I will do it if I have to survive. Today I cooked a little bit for myself, and I'm not dead yet, so I'm very proud of myself. Give me a second. I need to fix something. Okay, there we go. I just had to fix my stream labels because it went missing. Hi Squash, welcome back to the stream. I'm looking for 2 people to join me on the news panel. We're going to be doing the news today, and what we're going to do is news, a whole lot of news, what's been happening for the past week. I do it once a week, and if you really do like it, remember to check me a follow and turn on your notifications so you can see when's the next time that I actually do the news stream. Other days, on Wednesdays, I usually have one-to-one Wednesdays. Tuesdays I play HoTs. Thursdays I do movie nights with my subs and Patreons, and that's usually off screen, so that's like a little thank you for supporting the stream. And we watch stuff that I like watching. On Friday nights we do HoTs as well, and on the weekends we do IRL and variety stream. Why is your bed always so messy? Because I can't be fucked making it. Like, there's no point in making my bed. I am the only streamer that reads all your messages. I'm trying to read everyone's messages. I really do enjoy kind of sharing stories with you guys and you guys telling me stuff. So it's kind of like my time to relax. So yes, always happy to kind of chat. Slap says I can give news from Sweden. We're going to try to make it so that subs and patrons get the first preference to join me for the news panel. Otherwise, we'll open it up to other people who are actually interested in sharing news from their part of the world or sharing their ideas and opinions. Today we are going to start out with a few. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 articles today to go through. I used to do news like twice a week, but and then I found out that I didn't have too much news to talk about. But now I think this week there was quite a lot of things to talk about. Flying Bus says, how can you read the chat if you never open your eyes? Are you being racist here? Racism is not welcome in the stream. I don't read all your messages though. Shiki, I told you you should whisper me so that it kind of lights up. I keep running out of news to talk about. Well, usually every day we'll have something to talk about, but it's not always the news. Gaming news or real life news? Real life news. Not much gaming news, like unless there's like a big like finals of a game that I'm interested in. Mad Aldona, whereabouts are you tuning in from? First time here. You're welcome here. Yeah, no racism allowed in my stream. I'm Asian, and no, I'm not trying to look white. I'm trying to look like an elf. Okay, I want to be an elf. That is my goal. One day I'm gonna have surgery to tape up my ears so that I can be an elf. You have some news, but it's really sad. Airtime 6. What's up? I'm really sorry that you've got sad news. What is it about? Only I can be racist to myself. I know, Alverso, I actually saw the Dota 2. Well, I saw that Twitch had a lot of viewers 2 days ago. Was that when the Dota 2 finals was happening? Oh, Austria. Trax, thank you so much for tuning in from Austria. Welcome to the stream. Madal says, I'm from Greece. Oh, Tikanis? Oh, but you're Australian. So wait, you've got Greek heritage and then you were born in Australia? I actually have a few friends, like I have a few work friends back in Melbourne when I used to stay in Melbourne. Just say you want to be a snowman. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. I could say I want to be a snowman. I want to be a sphinx. There was the international finals. Yeah, I think I saw part of that. I actually saw the end of it. I saw the ceremony where there was an interviewer who was just interviewing the winners, but he was awkward as fuck. Like even one of it, he was like going through all the players, right? I don't know who this person's name is, but he was like going, you know, congratulations, you've done this, this is your first time, you've only started playing Dota for the first time, and now you're here in the final stage, and blah blah blah. And then he forgot to ask a question, and then he put the microphone to that person. I think he's a Pugs player or something like that. Did you guys see it? Yeah, he was a Pugs player, and he was in the finals. He was like in the winning team. And then he realized that he forgot to ask a question. Then he like took the microphone back and he just hugged the person. Like, did you guys see that? Like, was it just me, or you saw it as well? Did you see that interview? Hi Idol Sports, welcome back to the stream. You felt like the interviewee and the interviewer were both awkward. Like it's expected, you know, these the winners, they would have trained really hard, and they aren't training on interview techniques. They're training on actually playing the game. So I think as an interviewer, it's your job to make them feel comfortable, as well as trying to bring out as much information as possible that the audience wants to hear. So that's usually what I do when I'm interviewing, because you have to make your guests feel safe, and at the same time you want to encourage them to kind of give a little bit of themselves out there, so that the fans will love them even more, because they're the superstars there. So yeah, I just felt that part. That was the only part of the stream that I caught. I didn't actually watch the game because I think I woke up too late for it. Kenneth says, where am I from? I'm from Sydney, Australia. Matter says, I know what you're talking about. Somehow they did make a fuss for that. I know, they did make a fuss. I mean, like, obviously, like for the interviewer to be up there, he like would have, you know, climbed the ranks, and he would have done something, like he would have proven himself to be a capable interviewer. Like, I'm not saying that he's a bad interviewer, I'm just saying that particular moment was really a little bit awkward. But you know, I've done a lot of awkward stuff on stage, and also in front of the camera as well, and so I'm not perfect. I get really nervous in front of the camera a lot of times, and especially, like, I mean, not in my own stream. In my own stream, I'm pretty comfortable. I'm in my own house, and in my own bedroom, and talking to like my own camera and stuff, and like, you guys are fantastic as well, so you make me feel at home. Nice to see you as well, Mad Cat, welcome back. Katagari, welcome back, I saw you. Hi Crystal, welcome back as well. Mad Cat says, your face make my day, good girl. Oh, wow, okay. Thank you, I suppose. I'm gonna get myself into I'm in the stream game channel. Shiki, if you can find people to join me, if Katagari wants to join me for the news part of the stream, that would be wonderful. I'm looking for news panels here. Airtime says, some interviewers have an agenda that impose upon the interviewee. That's actually very true. I would say a lot of journalists, like, I wouldn't say esports journalists, but I mean like regular journalists, they're trying to convey a particular type of message, and they ask the type of questions where it feels like they're trying to catch the person they're interviewing, like they're trying to make them say something wrong, and catch them unawares. And a lot of times it's the type of political journalists that actually do that, but I wouldn't expect that from esports. Hey Katagari, I can see you just joined our Discord news panel. He's not talking. Okay, he just joined just to be here. Max Thrust Hack says, your hair would look better up. I like the way my hair is right now. Usually I tie it up when I'm annoyed at it, but I'm actually liking it today, so I'm not gonna tie it up. It's called debating. Isn't debating like a online only thing? Like, real journalists wouldn't debate.
Alright, I feel like I've just missed something. What did I miss?
Hi, welcome to the stream panel. No, I welcomed you, but I think you weren't around, so it's okay.
No, I was around for that,
Ah.
but I was just changing
Ah,
keyboards again.
right. I was just talking to people about interviewers and their interview techniques, and like someone on the stream chat said that sometimes the journalist or the interviewer has actually an ulterior motive. So they ask the questions in a way, they frame it in a way to kind of like prejudice the people they're interviewing. But I was just like mentioning to the stream chat that in esports it doesn't happen that I know of anyway.
Right, in esports it
Doesn't
happen.
happen.
Like in regular news, it kind of happens a lot because they're probably looking for
Like
a sound
sensational,
headline.
yeah, sensational
exactly.
news.
Whereas, like, sound bites and headlines are not a thing in esports. Like, nobody cares if such and such said a particular line, unless that particular line happens to be, I think this person should die in a hole and should be raped by a tire iron. In which then, yes, that's a headline.
Shit, my cat just like head butted the door on the side. What are you trying to do, Wolfie?
Typical cat behavior.
Yeah. Have a good night, Kenneth. Good luck for your test for tomorrow.
What test is this?
Okay, so
What test is this?
I have no idea. He just said he has to go study for a test. So I have some articles lined up, category, and I'm gonna put them in the chill corner. We're gonna get started with the news part of the stream. So let me just grab the browsers, the windows. Alright, so our first article today is about an Uber driver. I'm just going to set it up so you guys can see what I'm talking about on the right hand side of the screen. And if you want to know what article we're looking at, the first one is about the Uber driver who took a passenger for a ride. And this is actually really scary news for me because I take Uber very often.
I assume there's more to the story than just an Uber driver took someone for a ride.
Yeah, well, this is what do you call it? A summary of it. Turn the dude up and your voice down. So you can't hear category that well?
Oh no, you can't hear my soft sensual voice.
I think category just needs to talk into the microphone. Do you have to?
You may want to turn me up anyway.
Yeah, I've turned you up a little bit, but that's
Okay,
that's the maximum I can turn you up.
Very well.
The guy wasn't charged up with anything. He's innocent. Okay, alright, well, we'll just have a look at it. It looks like some of you guys already know about this. Right, so what's happened is, in this particular case, a female passenger... My microphone is peaking. Alright.
Your microphone's always peaking though.
I'll turn it down then. Hold on. Is this better? Oh, who's this? Our time? Our time. Welcome to the news panel. There's going to be some delay between the actual stream and Discord, so you might want to kind of just mute the stream if you have it on. Alright, so the very first article is pasted on the chill corner in Discord, so if you guys want to check it out, Discord link is on the stream chat.
Sure.
Alright, this is good. My eyeliner's running. Oh, shut up. My eyeliner's not running. This is called smudging. It's a particular makeup technique. I'm sure you guys will be bored if I give you
Excuses,
I'm sure you guys will be bored if I give you a 1-hour lecture on how to put on makeup, but yeah. So this
Maybe the guys, but not the girls. Go on.
I don't think I have that many female viewers though. I would like to have more.
You do.
I've got Stumpy. I've got Crystal.
Is Stumpy even here today?
I saw Stumpy on Discord. I'm not sure if she's gonna be here today. Yeah. Hey Vano, why did you leave my Discord? So this particular Uber driver took a female passenger for a ride. Apparently, he's gonna go to court, and he's being accused of refusing to let the Uber passenger go after she's reached or after they've reached her destination.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're saying that she's 25 and he's 45. So there's
Oh, stranger danger.
yeah.
People alert.
But the thing is, right, when you get into an Uber, you don't actually think about them not. Like, you think about Uber being a reputable company, they screen their drivers, but you don't actually think that one of the drivers could go, like, rogue and not
Driver going
not
wrong. Okay,
drop
that's
you
an
off. But the
interesting
thing is, the driver did drop her off in the end. I do not know why he didn't drop her off in the first instance, but they're investigating the case right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as someone who doesn't use Uber, I'm not entirely sure what to think of this.
Right, same. I don't use Uber, but by hearing it, I think it's definitely him at fault. Unless there's a really good reason for him to like keep her in the vehicle.
Shogun says, well, we still need more information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max says
That
there's
has
no
way more
charges
context.
laid. Well, the fact that he has to go to court doesn't mean that there was charges laid.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you generally
Like,
don't get
otherwise
someone
you
that's
wouldn't be
charged.
summoned to court, right?
Or maybe he was sued and does being sued and getting charged that's not the
Max
same
says that the girl made the story up to boost her profile. Shogun
Oh,
says,
right.
I've read the article. And he said that it's probably for a hearing to see if he'll be charged.
It'll be interesting to see.
It'll be interesting to see because I actually had some pretty shocking Uber experiences, but I've never been taken for a ride. Like, this is literally being taken for a ride, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hi, Amy.
Well, I mean-
Welcome back.
Greetings. So I mean, like, I suppose, I don't know.
Okay, so you guys haven't had the experience, right? But like when you always take it for granted when you get onto like a taxi or an Uber, like you guys don't take Ubers, but if you get into taxi, you expect like some sort of like being able to reach your
Professionalism.
destination safely, right? You don't think
Right.
you don't it's
Safely
a
and
given
in
that
your
you're going to
time
reach
too.
wherever you want to go, right? Like you don't think about, oh, okay, maybe there's something wrong with this taxi driver. But the thing is,
Right.
like, taxi drivers don't actually get screening.
What?
They
Don't they have to go through some sort of thing first?
they
I
they
don't
get
know.
the license, or they
Their
rent
license involves some sort of
rent a
screening
cab
process?
from like a cab company. But I don't think they get like, you know, IQ tests or mental aptitude tests to make sure that they're not psycho.
IQ test might be a bit much, but definitely mental
Yeah.
fortitude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because like I actually
Although
read about
actually, judging by some of the taxi drivers that I've come across in the city, I don't even think they get mental aptitude tests, to be honest.
yeah, but isn't it scary though? We
Crazy
trust our
ass hats.
lives with these people. We pay them to get to a particular destination. We're literally putting our lives in their hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
think so.
but the thing is, Uber actually has checks and balances with their drivers. You know, if you get below a certain rating, you actually get kicked out of Uber. So like
Oh, for
every
real?
single time you take an Uber ride, you can rate your driver, you know, from 1 to 5 stars. And once the Uber driver gets below 4.5 stars in terms of rating, they get kicked out of Uber. They can't drive Uber.
Under
Ah.
4.5.
Under
Wow.
4.5. I've been told that by another Uber driver.
Wait, is it? Hang on, sorry. Did you say 1 to 5 or 1 to 10?
1 to 5. Yeah.
So you get
That's
under
pretty
4.5
high
and you're
rating.
out.
Yeah,
Wow,
so
that's a high
so
bar.
Yeah.
so I think a lot of Uber drivers probably wouldn't like come around and
Yeah,
give
you
you
don't
a
screw around
joyride
then.
like this. So if someone said that, you know, maybe this is like a fake news and she just wants to get noticed, that could be plausible, but I highly doubt someone would make up something like this because they don't even mention who this victim is, like what's the name or anything like that
True.
as well.
Well, anyway, it's still a developing story, correct?
It's still
Yeah,
it's still
it-
developing, so I'm just like want to bring it out there for you guys. There's also
Yeah.
one other guy actually. I think he is Canadian, and he's actually on Facebook, and sometimes he tries to message me and tries to friend me. Apparently he is an Uber driver, right? And he's been charged, or he actually went to court and he was accused of trying to molest or rape another woman. He drives the
Oh,
Uber.
wow.
Do you know him?
No, I don't know him. But
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he's basically someone on Facebook, and he always tries to friend all these girls on Facebook. And the reason why I know him is because he wrote a comment on one of my girlfriend's Facebook, and then other people commented on that and said, "Oh, isn't he the Uber driver that like got summoned to court or got accused for raping some girl?" And apparently he was in jail for a while, and he was trialed, but I think he was just let out. But apparently
You mean he
his
was
parents,
tried?
I think apparently his parents are really rich and stuff.
So he wasn't.
I don't even know. I don't really know the specifics of it, but I'm just like really wary because I'm not going to accept his friend request, but I just know that it's just a little bit shady, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
that's the Uber
That's-
story.
I feel like it's best. I feel like this is a story we should go back to in a later time when it's actually fully developed, and then we can have a
Yeah,
real talk about it when all the facts have come out.
Yeah.
All of the cards are on the table, because I don't know. I don't know anything about this.
Yeah. Definitely.
okay, so we're gonna move on to the next article. This one is just a little bit light-hearted. This is about Donald Trump receiving a folder of positive news I think twice a day he gets
Oh,
a
that
folder
yeah,
of
yeah.
positive
It's,
news. Have you guys
yeah,
heard about this?
Once in the
Wow.
morning and once in the
I've
afternoon.
never heard about this.
Well-
This is interesting.
So apparently, once in the morning and once before he goes to bed, he gets a folder of all the
it
positive
before?
news articles.
Was it at night? I heard it was in the in the afternoon, like
What
4 o'clock.
evening or 4:30? Or I'm
Really?
assuming that he
I don't
goes to
know.
bed because he wakes up again at like 3 a.m. to start tweeting.
Oh yeah, no, it's pretty obvious. He goes to sleep at 12, wakes up at 3, and then stays awake at 3.
Does he get any
He's
sleep?
so crazy.
Does he get any sleep at all?
Nah,
He's an
nah, he doesn't.
insomniac, right? He can't
No,
process.
he's a vampire.
Oh,
He's
jeez.
a vampire.
I
He sleeps
wouldn't be
around
able
the
to
hour.
do that. Oh god. So I've tried a few times, 4 hours sleep for a whole week. I just like went psycho at the end of the freaking week. But yeah, so he gets folders of positive news, and it's just like I wanna have minions give me folders of positive news. I think it's a great tactic. Like I am actually for Donald Trump on this one.
Right, yeah. This definitely improves your mental health greatly.
Yeah.
It's still a bit weird.
I know it's weird. Okay, I know it's weird, but someone who's leading the country, I feel like it's important that he has a positive mindset. But I just
I don't argue with that.
and at the same time, like
Factually true.
yeah, at the same time, I also agree that it's kind of weird that he needs to have a folder twice a day though, to boost his self-esteem.
I mean, with
Like-
all the hate he's getting from
Yeah, it
the
is.
majority of
Flat.
people.
But he is
But
kind
on-
of
on the-
he is kind of like asking for it by tweeting so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know if it's a fair comparison, but like, if we look at the previous president, Barack Obama,
Yeah.
right? He kept getting a lot of flack from his other side, being the conservative side.
Mhm.
But I don't think we heard anything as ridiculous as this happening for him.
I feel like there's people in his administration that are actually trying to take him down by releasing ridiculous stuff like this. Like this is a little bit ridiculous, like to hear about it. But at the same time, it's interesting to see how he operates. Personally, like this is probably something that that's like part of his routine, and it has been part of his routine for a long time now. And it's just come to light. Avery says it should not be required. Like the positive folders should not be required.
It's not that it's required. It's it's something. I think it's pretty obvious.
As a
that it's
head of
something
state,
that
you need to
Donald
be.
Trump wants.
Aries says, as a head of state, you need to be thick-skinned. That's true, but he
Wrong.
does receive a lot of hate though. He does.
He's something to compensate.
Like if I were him, I would be depressed as fuck.
Yeah.
So like the fact that he's got a method of trying to like bounce back up again, it's a good
The
thing.
question though is, is the amount of hate that he receives as much? Is the amount of hate that he receives considerably, factually, objectively more than what previous leaders of the world have received? Because
I
I feel like the reason why we may think that the amount of hate he has received is a lot more is because it's really out in the open. Like it's just basically everyone and their mother doesn't really like him. Well,
yeah, well,
not
he
everyone,
kind of
but,
like goes around provoking people, you know.
yeah, that too.
He
But
kind of
at the same
deserves
time,
it.
Like, at the same time, like, if we think about the previous two presidents, both Bush and Obama, like, when people don't like Obama, they're real sneaky about it,
Yeah.
and they cover it up. But it's still, I don't know for a fact if it's not the same amount of hatred. And the same goes with Bush. Like when all of the craziness happened with him, people weren't all like front on about not liking Bush. They were like sort of, I don't know, a little bit more behind the scenes.
But if
But with Trump, it's really out on the table.
I
feel like.
agree.
I don't know.
I agree.
You know, that makes any sense.
He gets a lot of shit. He cops a lot of flack for everything. And
He cops a lot of flack, but in particular, he cops a lot of flack by people who are very open about shoving it in his face, as opposed to
But
before.
if he was a good leader, he should be able to just carry on, right? Like all
So, yeah,
the
that's the
hardest.
thing. That's the thing. He should be able to carry on without this kind of thing.
but all types of leadership people, they always have a method to carry on, to get in the zone, like before a speech, before a presentation, before they have to do something important, they always have like a sort of ritual to put themselves in a space where it's like positive and they're confident in themselves.
They also happen to have experience being politicians. Let's not forget that Donald Trump showed up and he was never a politician to begin with.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's no doubt he's had like proper PR training. Like he is the
Yeah.
face of a company. Yes, he's bad at it, but he's had training, and he has his own personal branding, right?
Yeah,
But-
is that the
yeah.
same as being a politician? Because remember, when you're a politician, even if you're just like a senator or a representative, right? You still have experience dealing with a large group of people when you have things like their town hall meetings and like if you think about the recent town hall meetings about the healthcare thing, and you have the senator standing in front of his electorate, and there's like some, I don't know, 100 or few hundred people screaming at him. You know, you get that experience. Whereas being the face of a company, I don't
It's
know,
not the
like,
same type of like.
You don't really, yeah, exactly. You don't get screamed at by a bunch of, you don't get screamed at by a mob of people from your electorate. You get screamed at by maybe a handful of investors.
Like
maybe? I
the
don't know.
exposure to negativity, and it's much more
It's
being
different.
someone in his position. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, so yeah, like you've got a guy who's, okay, yeah, sure, he's the face of a business, fair enough.
Yeah.
But he has never faced anything like this before, I think.
But do you need that shit daily?
Well, that's
Like-
the funny part. That's the funny part. like at the same time, I can understand why he needs it, because he gets so much shit every single day. But again, like on the flip side, I understand that, you know, it's kind of excessive.
Yeah.
Yeah, like twice a day is a bit excessive.
Like, sure, if I was in his position as someone who's never been a politician, now the president of the United States, I would need that. I'd need that and like 5 shots daily. 5 shots of like the hardest whiskey possible daily.
Just spend all your time at the golf course like he does.
Ah! Perfect plan. That is a winning strategy.
Alright, so that's one news. I'm just gonna go on to the next one.
Okay.
Alright, so this other piece of news is actually really confronting. And borderline child abuse, in my opinion. It's on Chill Corner in Discord if you've just tuned in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, chill corner, more like chill to the bone corner.
Yeah. So this particular one is about a guy. He tells the reporter about how he grew up as someone who came out as being gay when he was younger. His mum tried to fix his I don't know how to say his orientation, his sexual orientation, by trying to bring him into therapy, for shock therapy, like basically having electrical nodes like put on him and to shock him into denying himself as gay. Okay, so that's like a summary of it. So what happened was this person was raped very young. When he was really young, he was raped by a family friend, and when he wanted to speak to his family about it, he was rejected, and because his family was really religious, they just kind of hid it under the carpet, and his mother was I guess a devout religious person, and she didn't want to deal with the fact that her kid was gay. So growing up, you know, having a childhood where he was sexually abused and stuff, he didn't receive any support, and he like went through depression as a kid as well. And one of those days, she actually, the mother actually forced him to see a doctor. And I don't know what type of doctor this was, but this doctor actually referred him to a particular clinic to get some sort of treatment where he got shock therapy to try to deny that he was gay.
What?
So it's like, in my opinion, reading that, I was like, I can't believe something like this actually happens in Australia. This is in Australia, right? Or US?
Yeah.
Is this Australia or US?
Well, it's on you.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
in Australia.
It says
It's
it
Queensland.
still happens
Yeah,
in
it's
Australia. So gay conversion therapy happens in Australia. The fuck?
It's embarrassing.
How is this?
Okay,
How is this?
That's weird.
This
That's
is
really
real
weird.
fucked up
That's
shit.
fucked up. Yeah, that's fucked
I expect this in Bible Belt America, but not here.
Yeah, I was listening to this thinking, typical conservative Christian, like, America. Oh, what are you gonna do? What you gonna do? But, like, it's in Australia. That's freaking weird.
Yeah, and
To me, there's... Go on.
Okay, so,
I just don't understand. Well, he obviously he's like 32 now. This guy doesn't live with the mother, and he's been trying to, I think, he's seen his mother twice in the last few years, and he's tried to explain to his mother what she did to him was like not right. It's not the right thing to do, but the mother won't have it, and she still hasn't apologized for how she's treated him.
well, if she still hasn't apologized, she'll never apologize. That's just simple and easy. Simple and easy. That's just how it's gonna be. Has he moved to charge her yet?
No.
He should.
It's really hard to charge though, like as you being the child to the parent. Like it makes sense, but at the same time, like she did go to what was supposedly a medical doctor.
Yeah.
So someone who has an actual valid opinion said, "Hey, we can fix in quotation marks this," and tried to do it, right?
That doctor should
But-
should have his license revoked.
Yeah, in my
Yeah.
opinion, there should be no religious doctors ever. Like when you watch House,
Mhm.
it's like religion interferes with the practice of medicine when your job is to save lives.
It shouldn't interfere though. It should be like in conjunction. It should be helping on top, like, you know, that spiritual healing on top of the medical healing as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, but like, so this doctor recommended Valium, and Valium's like just a suppressant or a...
Yeah. It knocks you out.
Is it
It's
Valium
kind
or
of
is it
like
Valium, or is that the American pronunciation?
Valium.
I don't know. I've heard of it as Valium. Anyway,
I
go
don't.
on.
Yeah, we know what it is anyway. Yeah.
Anyway.
But I just can't believe that this thing is still happening. Justin says no, totally wrong. Doctors are okay with religion, but science dudes. There's some doctors that are Christian
get
as
the
well.
idea.
I don't think it's that. It's more when when people are so religious that they think they don't need medicine to save them.
Yeah, I get the idea of some doctors and even some scientists. I think there's like 5% of scientists who are religious in some way, shape, or form. But you know, like they don't take the religion into the science. Religious doctors should not be taking the religion.
Why can't science and religion work together?
Because science is. They
Also-
used to, but that was before science figured out what it actually was. Science and religion just simply don't mix because they're like complete opposites. Science is proof without certainty, and religion is certainty without proof.
I think religion requires proof, though. It's just the proof is not something.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's the proof is just not
Religion
something
requires proof.
tangible.
No, so that religion, so-called proof, is more anecdotal evidence to yourself, right? Or someone else that you trust.
Some people just experience miracles and then they say that's the proof.
Yes, but proof is generally defined as something that is either tangible or.
But this definition
reproducible,
is
right?
created by humans.
Oh, I mean, but we're getting to the definition of proof here, and like the mathematical definition of proof is like it exists for all cases, which religion can
Yeah.
never prove, or at least not until there's so-called evidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And
besides
that brings you back to the doctor.
besides that's like that's all well and good, but I think that like in this particular circumstance, someone being abused as a kid is just not right, and in the name of religion, like fucks it up as well. Gives religion kind of like a bad, I don't know, bad name. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So if you know of anyone being treated for their gayness, please report it to the police. This is absolutely shocking, and I can't believe it actually still happens in this day and age.
Oh, it'll still happen as long as there are still extremely devout religious people in the
Yeah, but
world.
shock therapy shouldn't be allowed.
It shouldn't-
it's
yeah, no, it
it's
shouldn't
like
be allowed, so
torture.
it's incredible that it's actually being allowed.
It's actually torture.
Oh, hang on.
Some category.
Yeah, what's up?
Is it your microphone or Airtime's microphone?
No, that's our
Our
time.
times.
Yeah.
Fat,
What's wrong?
There was a lot of ASMR.
Oh, sorry. I'll turn my mic down.
Sorry, I thought it was obvious, but it wasn't. It's actually our times.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I had a thought. All right, yeah, this is pretty much in bloody hell, I keep forgetting what word I'm trying to look for. This is basically the same as the people who are trying to
Pray the
use
gay.
gay conversion therapy. Yeah, exactly. That kind of stuff.
Pray the gay?
Conversion therapy.
Pray the gay away, rather.
I've never
or-
heard of
or
that
even,
before.
like-
Pray the gay.
Oh no, that's a thing. Well, it's a thing that people try to do where like, oh, are you gay? Well then, we will go to, I don't know, somewhere, probably a church, probably not a church, I don't know. We'll go and we'll pray, and we will pray to the good Lord above to ask for his forgiveness for your mortal sin of being a homosexual, so that you can stop being gay. And
But I don't see how that will work. to be
It doesn't.
honest.
It
That's the
doesn't
point.
work.
But
Yeah.
they think it's going to work, and so then they push these people to go and keep doing it, and then when that doesn't work, they get pissed off, and what do? They do things like this. Shock therapy, medicinal remedies, I don't know.
But I don't like. At the same time, it's not all people who are against gay people are religious. Some people just think it's wrong, not because of religion.
All people who are against gay people, there's a good to fair chance they're asshats. Some of them happen to be religious asshats.
So what I'm saying is it just gives religion a bad name. There's a lot of gay people who are Christians that go to church and stuff, and they're
Yeah.
accepted. Like it's not religion that's causing it. It's because of people's prejudice.
Some of them are accepted. I think there are some gay Christians who are simply not accepted.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next topic. Alright.
Cornic Graves does raise a very good point. Shock therapy does work, but it doesn't work
Wait,
on like
when do
sexuality.
people use shock therapy? Why do you need to?
Shock therapy?
Seizures.
Oh, for
Seizures,
seizures.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it came from a lobotomy, like the practice of lobotomy, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like where you're just
yeah.
fucking with the brain and just poking around and hoping it changes a,
They used
a
to
use, like a behavior.
they used to dissect the hemispheres of your brain, separate the left to the right, to stop the seizures from happening, which is really appalling because it doesn't. I don't think it really does help. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next article, and this was kindly brought to my attention by Ewi. So there was a massive oxygen outage in a hospital in India. At least 30 children died from it, and basically the hospital stopped paying their oxygen bills. So they use the oxygen to kind of keep people alive when, you know, doing surgery and all sorts of stuff. Some children kind of rely on these oxygen tanks. And what this hospital has been doing is they stopped paying for their oxygen bills 6 months prior to the oxygen being cut off. So the oxygen supplier, the company supplier, is under fire. The hospital is under fire. At least 30 children have died. What are your... I guess I'm throwing this out to the news panel here. What are your thoughts on, like, say if you were the oxygen supplying company thing, right? What would you have done? You know, the hospital stopped paying paying the bills for 6 months. You've lasted 6 months. Like, is this the oxygen company's fault that this happened?
I don't think so. Because, okay, so, like, what we have to do is we have to consider this not just... Okay, from the humanitarian viewpoint, this is a really bad idea to, you know, not supply a hospital with oxygen. But at the same time, hang on, does the article say why the hospital stopped paying? Were they poorly funded, or...
The fuck would I know?
Okay, so let's assume that...
They just didn't pay their bills.
So let's assume for now, that the hospital wasn't like running out of money and is poorly funded. So let's assume that's not happening. From the company's perspective, I would assume that, or I would guess that producing pure oxygen, because that's what they're supplying. They're not supplying air, right? They're supplying pure oxygen. That's probably difficult because outside of electrolyzing water to turn it into hydrogen and oxygen, I can't think of a way to, like, mass produce pure oxygen. Can I get a chemist in the chat to come up with a better idea?
But it's basically like, you know, if say it's not oxygen, your water supplier or your electricity supplier, like the same thing, right? If your customer doesn't pay its bills, can you be held accountable for their business and people die from it?
No.
I don't think so. If I mean, like, this is going to sound like a real dick move, but it looks like the hospital and the oxygen company, they came to some sort of agreement
To cut off the oxygen supply.
No, that by the hospital paying a certain amount for oxygen, the company will provide them with oxygen. When once it's pure well, that's not pure capitalism. It's simple common sense. When one side doesn't hold to their end of the bargain, the other side is not beholden to their end of the bargain. That makes sense.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Shogun says, legally, no, they're not accountable. Morally, well, that's a grey area, but even in this case, not really.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
I think they should have,
well.
I don't know, someone should have spoken to the government because, like, shouldn't governments be...
They did.
Huh? They did?
And you know, like, I think credit where credit's due. The company only started to cut off their oxygen supply after 6 months of bills not being paid. That's 6 months.
6 months of giving free stuff.
That's not nothing.
Yeah.
That's
pretty generous.
So that's 90k, let's assume Australian or US dollars. In India, that is actually more than like
That's a lot of
2
money.
or 3 managers worth of pay for the year. So they
Yeah.
waited a lot, like a really long time, and they had a forward contract agreement, right, which said you have to pay on these terms. So they would have missed a
Yeah.
few billing
Yeah,
periods.
they did.
Yeah, exactly.
And they received a
And,
lot
like,
of like
sure, it-
reminders to pay their bills, you know, the monthly reminder things as well.
And yeah, sure, 30 children die in the Indian hospital. But I think that's probably more the hospital's fault now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they had trouble paying the bills, I think the hospital should have spoken to the government saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
need some help here.
If
These
yeah, if the
patients
hospital
will
ran out of
die
money-
if and we can't pay the bills." So
Exactly.
so
If the
I
hospital
absolutely
did run out of money, that's suddenly the government's fault.
yeah. Well, so it's not the government's
it's
fault.
not
This
private
is
hospital?
absolutely the hospital's fault, and I think
Oh,
some
yeah, no,
review should be
it's
done.
definitely the hospital's fault.
Yeah.
I'd like to play devil's advocate on the hospital blaming though.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I'd like to hear.
we come from a very, what do you call it,
Privileged.
Medicare society, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like we get
Medically
stabbed, we
insured
go to the
coverage.
hospital, it's covered.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right.
In India, where there's such a slumdog thing going on, where people can't afford stuff,
Yeah.
and the hospitals. I mean, I hope the hospital's doing the right thing and trying to make it to and honor that Hippocratic oath.
Mm.
So, like, when push comes to shove, and let's say the hospital tried to do the right thing, but they were already 100K behind in debt just for oxygen. What about the rest of stuff? So maybe they were trying to prioritize, like, what do they really need?
Mm.
So, like, stuff like antiseptics, antibiotics, they probably took priority first.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay,
That's a
that
fair point.
that's a fair
point.
point.
Yeah.
So yeah, so then like the question then becomes like, how do you sort that? How do you solve that? How do you solve this? Clearly this giant hole in your accounting. And I don't know.
You seek aid from the government. Like that's why I said
yeah,
you should
it's a
approach the
government-
government.
hospital, so the government should actually be helping out.
Mm.
So
But
when you
apparently not.
when you go to India though, like, so I go there like 2 or 3 times a year for work.
Mm.
You can sort of see that the government does some things okay,
Yeah.
but just completely mismanages the rest
Mm.
due to, I guess, their management structure or something like that.
Is there like a lot of corruption in the government in India?
Absolutely.
Indian
Yeah.
government probably.
I'm probably
There's
going to get a lot of shit for that, but there is.
Well,
for
there's
sure.
a lot of corruption in Asia. We know that.
Can
Yeah.
someone from India weigh in and
We were hoping that someone from India could give us a little bit of some feedback or
you know when your
some
internet stops
insight.
lagging.
So, could any one of our news panelists, if you were the hospital manager,
Mm.
could you make the call? The call being, okay, we need to drop something. Which medication or essential are we going to drop?
Yeah.
Like the common
not something I think I could do.
antibiotics you wouldn't drop. It's
No.
the stuff that's like more rare, like less chance of people getting, then the funding would probably be a bit thinned out there. But oxygen is pretty, I don't know,
It's
bread and
pretty-
butter.
I don't know because like the oxygen. No, because this kind of oxygen is like
Special
specialized-
hospital oxygen.
specialized. He says.
Yeah.
It's specific,
Mm.
like for a handful of procedures, right?
Mm.
So I mean, like, by that regard, I
Yeah.
guess it makes sense to cut it first.
I think there are some people speaking on the chat saying that you know people on the stream are uninformed and we're talking about news articles where we haven't fully researched it, which is why we have a news panel. We talk about what we know, our response to the article, and we're calling out to other people in the chat if you guys know more about you know, if you're from India, like, you know, tell us more, because this whole thing is a discussion. It's not really meant to be like we say A is A and therefore we are right. It's a discussion for a reason.
Yeah, so one of the guys are bringing up the issue of caste.
Yep.
From my understanding, this is supposed to be a government hospital, so castes and money was supposed to not be a factor.
Mm.
But I don't know how hospitalization works there.
OC Jacobs says, oh, is that, were you responding to OC Jacobs?
Yeah.
Okay. Your social class matters more than money. Yeah, in India, they do have a class system, similar to like lords and stuff, right? and sirs.
It's not Westeros.
But they have like, you know, people who are really rich and filthy rich and people who
Well,
can
that's
barely
the same
even
with
afford
most
a meal.
countries.
Yeah.
Like, every country has a class system to some extent.
Yeah.
Even China.
I don't really know what's
Even-
their tax system in India though. Like whether the taxation system is fair, that the government's receiving enough revenue to fund.
Probably something weird.
Yeah.
It's probably something weird that none of us can understand, oh, except for you.
Because I'm a tax consultant. Yeah.
Precisely.
Hi to, I think, Amazing Pio. And Kenneth says, have you ever gone to Malaysia? Yes, I have. I was actually born there. Hey Vano says, gonna leave for a while. When are you going to be playing HoTs? Hopefully within the hour. We are maybe halfway through the news.
Oh, damn, we're already halfway
Yeah.
through the news.
Wait, let's go to the next article. Alright, so this one is a little bit more lighthearted.
Hang
It's
on, Jenna, just a quick question.
yeah.
The thing I typed in chill corner, just a quick yes or no.
Oh yeah. I need to find an article for that. I don't
Okay.
think I've got one.
Alright, we'll talk about that later then.
Yeah. So this next one is
Stay
a little
tuned.
bit more lighthearted, and it's about this Saudi Arabian singer. He's a very popular singer apparently, but he was arrested for dabbing because dabbing is illegal in Saudi Arabia. So if you ever go to Saudi, please don't dab because it is a criminal offense. You can go
I
to
totally
jail.
agree with the Saudi government on this. It is an absolute criminal offense, and anyone who is caught dabbing in the streets of Australia should be arrested and shot right on the spot.
Can we add
I will not
shoeies
have
to that?
dabbing. I will not have this happen in our country. We are a proud people.
We are a proud nation.
We are a proud nation, and I will not have us sort of divulge into some dabbing nonsense.
So,
If you want to dab, keep that nonsense in America. I will not have it.
I'm gonna see.
like, imagine, like, I don't know, like, the reason why dabbing is illegal is because it's the government's perspective, or they say that it's a sort of like a drugs type of move. It's like a reference to sniffing drugs. I don't know who sniffs drugs like this, but I don't know, why would you sniff drugs from your elbow? I didn't know this was a thing, but apparently it encourages people, you know, that drugs are cool and stuff. That's why it's illegal there.
Okay, well, by that context, let's not forget that Saudi Arabia is one of those countries that is like one of those super religious countries that tries to make some weird meaning out of nothing.
Oh, I don't. What other things do they kind of make a weird meaning?
Oh,
out
I
of?
don't know, but it's just like you always hear like these super conservative or
They have
super
weird
religious
rules.
countries. They're like this seemingly innocuous thing is illegal because X, Y, and Z, and you look at those regions, you're like, how does X, Y, and Z even relate to this seemingly innocuous thing that I do on a regular basis?
Like dabbing.
Like dabbing. There's plenty of examples, but I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Oh.
Well, it's a fundamentalist nation, and what's more, like Saudi Arabia and that region is they're sick of Western countries messing in their politics as well, because like, you know, the Arab Spring, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So this to me feels like they're trying to stop the propagation of Western media as well.
Western culture, Western dank memes.
Western memes, yeah.
Women aren't banned from driving there. The fuck, really?
What?
That's so
They are.
sexist. Holy shit!
Why?
Wow.
Fundamentalist Islam. And
What? Wait.
other things
What
that
can
most
women
people
actually do in that country?
very precious few. Remember, this is the country where like women are absolutely
Second
required,
class citizens.
to wear
Hijab.
burqas and hijabs
Unless
and
you're
all
an
that stuff.
expat.
Unless you're
Oh,
an
Even
I stuffed
then-
up my belt. It should be the other way around.
Friends that have worked there, like CCNA networking consultants, who's a girl, so she's like a golden unicorn.
I got.
Like,
golden unicorn.
What's a gold? What?
dude, a girl in IT is rare.
Oh,
already.
right,
sorry,
okay.
Yep, golden unicorn. I
And then
understand.
she's also in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So she had to dress really conservatively.
Is she
Oh, yeah.
like? Is she paid really well?
At least 250k OT.
Is she lesbian?
Jenna,
You're
do we need to bring out that
semi-biased.
do we need to bring out that shock therapy that we were talking about a few minutes ago?
Yeah, okay, alright. Lesson learned. Alright, we're gonna move on to the next article. And, okay, so this guy was caught trying to bring through a pair of arms, human arms, through customs in China. And it was in his, I think, carry-on luggage. And I can't think of a dumber way to transport human body parts. But he was caught in customs. I don't know what he was thinking, you know, like...
He wasn't thinking.
Yeah, apparently it was his brother's arms that were chopped off.
What? Oh my
Hang on.
goodness.
Can we establish that the context of this is not that his brother is some sort of secret cyborg thing that requires assembly?
No. So
It says they confirmed the story after calling the hospital.
yeah, so his brother suffered and well he was electrocuted, and his arms were kind of like severed, and he was going to take these arms back to his burial, like in the village where his body was going to be buried, and apparently it's part of the Chinese custom to have your entire body kind
Right.
of
That
like
makes sense,
buried
yeah.
together. And
That's a
Yeah.
quintessential Chinese thing.
yeah, but what's just really weird is he tried to check it in as a carry-on luggage.
So, was he arrested for being an arms dealer?
No, he was arrested for being an arms smuggler. Mate.
Yeah. Shiki's like, were
Okay.
the arms properly preserved? I think if you were electrocuted, they would have been.
Not really. I mean, sure, they might have a little bit of a.
I mean, there's no use for the arms anymore.
No, but they were still like rough. And stuff. They'll still decompose at some point. But
Yeah.
you have,
I mean-
in order to preserve them, you need to have like.
Maybe
wanna
he
say
just thought that,
environmental
you know, like he can, like, I don't know what it's like to travel domestic in China, like if you can bring food and stuff. I think in Australia you can only bring certain food.
You're allowed to bring food, I
Like,
believe.
I don't think you're allowed to
Domestically, you're allowed
transport
to bring
fruit.
food, but not internationally.
You're not allowed to
Fruit?
transport fruit from one state to another.
I think they
In China,
changed-
really?
No, no,
I think
in
they
Australia.
changed- no. Yeah, here I think here they changed that a while ago. I don't remember.
It's just not really enforced, right?
Ah, yeah.
Especially if you're driving, you don't really get stopped at the. It's not like there's border patrols and
Hmm.
border protection. That's not international border protection.
Okay.
So you can kind of like drive around with a banana if you want to.
I'm trying to find that news thingy category that you were talking about.
Yeah.
All right, so
So in the meantime,
so there was
like-
there's this the really disturbing news from the
Here we
States.
go. Yeah.
Charlottesville.
Hang on. According to Ock Jacobs, fruit is controlled. Okay, interesting.
Fruit is controlled. Yeah, I was thinking that fruit is pretty restricted. You can't carry it from one place to another. So this is from ABC News. Charlottesville, there was a really bad, people call it a terrorist attack. Some people call it, I don't know,
Hate crime.
white supremacist
Yeah. It's
terror attack.
Yeah.
But basically, they were having some sort of strike or rally against a statue being taken down, and this statue has it's a history of like this general in the Confederate Army, and he's very
General Robert E. Lee.
General Robert E. Lee. He was he's very looked up to by the people like living in that area, and they were rallying against that statue being taken down because that statue really signifies, you know, I don't know. It signifies a general that you know was backing slavery and that type of thing in the U.S. So they were marching against that, and then there was anti rallies, counter rallies. Trying to have a strike against the so-called white supremacists. I don't think everyone that attended the rally were white supremacists, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
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 So what happened was you have your white supremacists. We're talking about the KKK, and we're talking about neo-Nazis, neo-fascists.
And we have people who are genuinely
sorts.
misguided and thought, well,
Yeah.
you know, I feel threatened. My white rights are being threatened, and in the future
It's not
so
it will
much
be
that
threatened. And they also marched as well. So not all of them
Yeah.
are racist. Some of them just felt threatened. And then
They're all generally conservative.
and then there was a counter rally, and then what happened was there was it a truck or just a car? So a 20-year-old drove a motor vehicle,
I heard it was a car.
a car, into the crowd,
Oh, what?
and 3 people have died, and
Yeah, he just straight up killed 3 people.
he killed 3 people, the counter rally people, and also I think less than 20 people were injured from it, but basically he just mowed people down. And it's just like, I've been hearing so many news of people driving cars and trucks and stuff mowing people down, and it's just he killed 3. At first it was one person died immediately, and I think 2 people lost their lives after being taken to on the
Yeah.
way to the hospital. 2 people died, so in total 3 people passed away from it. But regardless, it's the act, you know, the act of you're going against other people's I mean, if you're against other people's faith or against their religion or against like their beliefs or whatever it is, like killing innocents is not really the answer to fixing the issues, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know about the actual driver. He's a 20-year-old, so obviously he's young, easily influenced, but I don't know, is there something wrong with his brain? Like,
No, I don't know if it's something wrong with his brain, but he's just been radicalized in a way. Not like, you know, not like radicalized in an Islamic way. This time he's radicalized in a
yeah,
neo-Naziist way.
it's like it's not even the Muslim religion that defines a terrorist, you know? Like, you can be a terrorist by doing something like this, and like, I don't know. It's just stupid that, you know, the frequency of people getting mowed down because
I
of
don't know if it's-
radicalism.
I don't know if it's frequent, but it's definitely like.
What, at
there's
least
some,
like 3 or 4 instances last year.
Yeah.
And
One in Melbourne,
there was even one in Melbourne. Absolutely, yeah.
but that wasn't radicalism.
No,
That was
that guy's just like psycho,
That was just some crazy dude.
crazy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, people are, you know, people are aware that this is a new method of hurting other innocents.
But let's not forget that, like, people were basically hurting each other in all other ways. Like, there's another article on ABC about the guy who at least hit one person with a car, and you know, there's a photo of a counter protester. In fact, it looks like he's attacking one of the one of the Confederates with a flamethrower. No, not a flamethrower. Like
What?
a lighted spray can.
Oh.
So, you know, like, on one side you have people with makeshift flamethrowers, basically, and on the other hand you have people with rifles. And then on the other-
Scary.
and cars, like, basically.
That's so
we have-
scary.
I don't know. I look at this from the outside as someone obviously with no experience being in a giant protest that have people dying or yada 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 yada. But I don't know. I just see one side of people who are like fueled by hatred in some way, and another side fueled by their own form of disgust. And both sides have weapons.
I
It's only a
think
matter of
there
time, I
should be
think,
like
that
a
someone's
rule
gonna
where
die.
if you, like in the US, there should be a rule that you shouldn't be carrying weapons around when you're doing a protest or.
Yeah, but that infringes on their Second Amendment rights, so that's never gonna happen. My Second Amendment
Wait,
rights.
wait,
You
wait.
can't go against that.
Wait, but are they allowed to carry weapons into concerts and shit? And clubs?
Yeah.
Really?
Depends on the state.
What?
Depends on the state. Because this is Virginia, it's an open carry state, so you can basically walk around with your rifle wherever you want. You can walk
What
around
if you're
with your
dancing and you
rifle.
actually shoot someone?
Well,
Tough luck, you shot someone.
trigger discipline, bitch.
Oh.
Make sure it's a kill shot, or else you won't be able to hang them on your wall.
Oh my god. I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, I understand the whole, like, you know, you need to arm yourself because you need to be able to defend yourself because that's, like, in the US, it's a different environment to Australia. But at the same time, I think, like, when it comes to this type of, where there's a huge amount of people in a very tight space, there should be some sort of, I don't know,
Yes, but that
a
makes
rule
way
where
too
you
much
can't
sense,
hurt
so it's
other
never
people.
gonna
I don't know.
happen.
Jesus Christ.
So Justin2049 and a few others are saying that generally you need to check your weapons, like you get metal detected.
Yeah.
But I guess the problem is in this sort of protest there was no strict.
Yeah. Okay,
Mm.
so
Because it's also an open area.
yeah, like this is not in an official arena, like right? It's not like we're in a concert area or we're in like an official building or like a meeting place. This was just somewhere on a street.
But don't they
You
need to
just
have
have to-
licenses to protest?
No,
No, they used
that
the
infringes
one
on their
of the-
First Amendment rights.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, in Malaysia, where I was born, you need to ask the government for permission to have a protest.
I think you have to do that here as well.
In Australia
like,
as
you
well.
have to at least let the police know.
Yeah, so
"Hey,
that
we're
they
gonna
can
have a
like
protest,
have
come help us out."
ambulances and stuff on the side just in case anyone
and,
gets
and
hurt.
police escort basically.
Yeah.
But in Singapore and Malaysia, you always get denied or brought to justice.
Yeah. So that's what I think they should have, like, you know, yeah, sure you can protest.
I think they got a rally permit. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
sure
what
you
you're
can protest, sure you can you know, have your freedom of speech, but at the same time you need to have like a you need to ask for permission so that the government can give services just in case people need it.
With collateral damage, right?
Yeah, and like kind of block out the roads so that, you know, there's
Yeah.
no random cars coming in to
Mm.
mow
And
people
mowing people
down.
down.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. So I've heard on the news that apparently the police presence for this particular rally was a lot thinner.
Mm.
Like
There wasn't enough.
Obviously, I was listening to this from a mainstream fake news media, so I can't say for certain that the news was that the police presence for this particular rally was a lot thinner than say the
Mm.
Black Lives Matter rallies from previous times. Could also be that I don't know. It's just such a volatile position.
Isadix says there was also a fraudsters. They're from Antifa? What's that?
Antifa is anti-fascism.
Oh, right.
It's some bizarre alt. I don't want to say alt left, but I don't know. Anti-fascism movement that's just
Poor Ice Addict.
weird.
So you're saying that they joined the Fash or the KKK rally to make it look bad by acting out?
Yeah, like I've seen articles and pictures circling Facebook.
Mm.
So you know, take that with about 10,000 grains
Doesn't
of
surprise
salt.
me.
But anyway, I've seen like things where like there's like two photos where you've got the one guy from Antifa who's running around with a bag that's slightly open and there's like part of a flag, and then the next photo is that same dude in slightly different gear with the flag out in the open doing something
Ah,
really
strawman.
dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OC Jacob says
So,
they don't need the KKK doesn't need help looking bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything bad, and yet Antifa tries to do it anyway. Like I'm not going to deny that there are asshats on both sides, but I think the level of ridiculousness on the called what's it called again? Unite the Right movement. That's what this white nationalist movement is called. It's the
Unite the Right?
movement. Yeah, Unite the
Oh,
Right.
I just wanna
This is just like anyway. Go on.
I just wanna understand, like, for anyone who fits the category of is it single white male?
Single
I
white-
don't know if
single white
it
cisgendered
needs to be
male.
single, but I don't understand how they can feel threatened with their rights being taken away. Can someone please tell me, like, in the most factual manner, what is the
Factual, no
argument
idea.
for this?
Factual, no idea. Their argument appears to be like anything that is considered progressive, i.e., providing more rights for minorities and women, they consider that as an infringement on their rights as white males.
Okay.
Where like I don't know, where people like you and I maybe think of progressive movements as an attempt to level the playing field by bringing up those who are not doing so well. They seem to think of it maybe as bringing up people who are not doing so well at the expense of those who are doing well.
Right. So basically, the rich people shouldn't pay
I'm
more
not 100%
taxes
sure on that, but anyway, yeah.
because they're infringing on their right to have money.
Maybe.
It's not only that though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not only economic, but yeah.
But in this case, I think it's almost, no, I wouldn't say exclusively, but primarily a social thing, not an economic thing. Like they're not yelling about, oh, we white people should pay less tax, yada 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 yada. No, they're not yelling about that. They're yelling all sorts of like proper racist stuff.
So, Icetic says they took away some folks' history by removing a statue of their hero. What do you guys have to say about that? Like, do you think they should have taken down the statue?
I don't know, but this is the same nonsense as when they took down the Confederate flag in one of the Dakotas, I think it was, or some other state. Like they had this huge debate over whether a Confederate flag should be flying over a state building. It was the Confederate flag still flies over a handful of state buildings, I think.
I actually don't know if like obviously I'm not I mean there are some racism. Oh, what's that sound? Our time. Yeah. So I'm not I'm not affected by the racism in the United States, but at the same time,
until it shows up here.
Yeah. Like I don't know what my stance actually is about them taking the statue down. Like,
so
Yeah,
let's bring it on something closer to home for you, Jonah.
Yeah.
Then what about race riots that happened in Malaysia and Singapore?
like when they went around murdering Chinese people.
Chinese, Indian, everything. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if it's, I suppose like if there's a statues kind of to celebrate, the oppression of the Chinese people in Malaysia, then obviously you'd want to take it down. Yeah.
So.
But if that
like,
statue was like a hero from like 1,000 years ago, like that's just the history. Like it's no longer like that anymore.
Exactly. So it's trying to do it in a politically correct manner that sort of appeases both sides, and that's probably the issue here.
Yeah.
And like, I would say that you should be able to take those so-called monuments away. Remove them from public view.
Yeah.
And allow them to be given to a private.
Like a museum.
Or one
Like
that
if it's
can
in a
prove-
museum, it's fine, I think, because that's the history, and you're not removing the history. And you also like want to acknowledge, well, back in the day there was this dude.
Back in the day,
That-
these things happened.
You don't want to kind
Can't
of
deny
remove
that
it.
these
You can't.
things happened.
You can't be like China and just say, nah, the Tiananmen Square never happened. You know.
What is the Tiananmen Square? We don't know what that is. What are you talking about? That doesn't exist.
Do you know
No,
people in
that
China
happened.
actually don't realize that it happened? Like they
they don't know
removed
what happened. They don't
everything
know that happened.
that the people that lived in farms and stuff, they didn't realize that was happening in their country.
So here's the fucked up thing. My dad seeing this news is like, they should do exactly what China and Singapore does, which is control the news,
Control the
Oh,
media.
God.
control the population to
No,
stop
that's
this from
the
happening.
worst idea. That is the
Yeah.
worst idea. Anyway, so like they should do what, like you said, do what they did with the flag. Take it down and then put it in a museum. You can have it in a museum.
Mhm.
If you love it so much, go get a little Robert E. Lee statue, stick it in your home. Stare at it on your mantelpiece every night if you want to. It doesn't matter what you do at home, but
You can build a shrine around it, you know, have
yeah, build a
garlands
shrine
and
around it.
flowers
I
and
don't care.
freaking fruit
Worship
and
it.
shit.
I don't care. but but the Virginia state government had voted to remove. It was a very narrow vote too. So the Virginia state government, as of right now, has voted to remove the Robert E. Lee statue from the street.
Yeah.
So that's going to go down. It'll probably be placed in a museum, in which then you get to go into the museum and stare at it for all time, if you want to.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next piece of news. I think I'm happy we brought this up.
Oh, by the way,
yeah.
actually, there was one more part about this news, and that was
Trump?
President Trump.
Oh yes, his comments on this.
Almost inadequate. No, not even almost. Like extremely inadequate response to this.
Does anyone have an actual quote from him? Because I can't find it in this
There
one.
is no quote. That's the point.
Like he basically said something about this is not good, terrible or something on both sides, and he repeated on both sides. It's like, what the fuck do you mean by on both sides? Are you blaming both sides of the rally for this tragedy happening?
He also failed to call out the far right for what they are, being the far right. Like he didn't ever like say, oh, it's so sad that we have these white nationalists, or oh, it's so sad that we have these people who are anti-American. He's just like, this is really bad, with bad people on like both sides. Yeah, and we're like, that's it.
Even his daughter had a pretty okay statement. I think Ivanka should be president.
That'd be nice. For one thing, they finally have a female president.
Actually, I'll try to find an article.
No, I feel like if Ivanka became president, she'd just have the same problems that Trump is.
Okay.
As someone who has never been a politician.
I'd feel she'd be a little bit progressive, but
I think
walk over for
she's
sure.
like the better Trump alternative.
She'd probably not cop as much flack because, she is seemingly sort of progressive, but still.
I'm trying to find his actual words. Okay, so he said, we condemn in the strongest possible terms this. He can say this word, egregious display of egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides.
This sounds like it was written by State rather than him.
It's not written. It doesn't sound like his own words. But
what's weird is he's trying to for some reason not offend the KKK.
Well, because he's got a lot of supporters.
Fundamentally, they have a right to their own views. And he's right to admonish both sides, but it's not strong enough, is what I'd say.
Yeah.
Why is it right to admonish the counter rally?
Well,
because you escalated.
And the counter rally, I do want to say, I do want to make it perfectly clear, the counter rally is not completely innocent. Like I said, there are images already of counter ralliers. Is that the right word? Counter ralliers, using lighted spray cans against ralliers. That's wrong.
Okay, so they're both
clearly.
They're both not pure and innocent. But at the same time, his sort of speech as a leader of the country isn't seen as sufficient.
No, definitely not.
Isadix says the counter rally was planned violence.
I don't think so.
I'm not too sure about that.
Just as like if we look at it as an absolute base value, I think both rallies were planned non-violence, but
people get carried away when it comes to these.
People get carried away so easily these days, especially in such a fuel melting pot. I don't know. It's such a volatile place like Virginia.
When people gather around, they tend to like feel a bit more confident about their beliefs and they get carried away. That's all I can say. Yeah. Like one person just has to say something, and then other people will just like go on about it and build on it until some violence happens.
Like I'm pretty sure most of the far right people were just marching through the streets, yelling really obnoxious stuff, but still just yelling. And then you have the people with the guns. You have the guy with the car. Whereas most of the county rallies, okay, is that even the right word? They're people marching. They're doing the same thing. They're marching on the street, yelling things at the other people, possibly obnoxious, possibly offensive, yelling things at other people. And then you have the guy with the lighted spray can. Then you have the other guys with thrown items.
Istatic says, have a look at the photos of how many baseball bats they had. Well, just because someone brings a baseball
On
bat
both
doesn't
sides?
mean that they want to hit someone with it. It could be for self-defense. I mean, like, the amount of people, you know, bringing rifles to the rally doesn't mean that they wanted to kill people. It just...
No, you can pretty much.
I don't think they want to
Pretty
kill
sure if you bought a
people
rifle.
with the rifles if they bought the rifles. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go on to the next piece of news.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on now. So we've got that smuggling thing, we've got that. Okay. So there's this article
something
saying,
fun.
is Trump a madman or a strategic genius? I think it's basically talking about the US versus North Korea. There's been some shots fired online. Like not literal shots
With
fired.
fire
Not,
and fury.
not shots fired, like literally, but shots fired verbally. So the North Koreans, Kim Jong-un is threatening some fire on Guam. Is it Guam?
Yeah.
Guam?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The U.S. territory where they carry out exercise, and they've got a lot of military there. And the North Korea is threatening to bomb Guam, and you know, on Tuesday, Trump also said something about the U.S. maybe raining down fire and fury on North Korea. So he's basically having a different
Light
strategy.
switch that never seen.
He's got a different strategy to like the previous prime ministers or presidents, and people are asking or questioning whether his strategy is like effective or not effective. So I guess what I want to kind of ask you guys is, what are your personal opinions on his approach to North Korea? Just your personal
what I'm
opinions. There's no right, no
Oh.
wrongs. Just
Yeah. So
What
what
do
I'm
you think?
seeing here is Kim Jong Un has already like killed off a bunch of his own people. So he's already got that kill streak going. He just needs to kill a handful more people. He's gonna have access to the nuclear bomb. That's why. So he's getting ready for that tactical nuke, and he's gonna drop it on Guam. I don't think this is a very strategic move, because obviously, if you want to drop a nuke, you want to drop it on somewhere that's a little bit more populated to get that kill streak even higher. But anyway, he's gonna go for Guam just to get that kill streak up. So maybe he can get himself a Moab. I don't know.
I don't think he's gonna do anything. Like Kim Jong Un is a lot of talk, and right now it's not strategically beneficial for him to bomb Guam because he hasn't developed the nuclear capabilities to actually bomb the U.S. Like he has the so-called carrier, the what do you call it, the missile carrier things,
Yeah.
right? But they can't carry the weight of a nuclear missile yet to
Oh,
reach the
Right,
U.S.
Yeah.
Like it can the actual carrier thing can reach the States, but not when it has, you know, a nuclear weapon attached to it.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have that capability yet. So it's like premature ejaculation if he tries to bomb Guam now. So that's my thoughts on it. Only Fruit says, "Big Asian child, are you calling him fat?" Wait. Well.
He is a bit of a meaty dude.
Sashquash says Trump is handling this like a schoolyard argument. He has to go one way or another. OCJ
Always got
Spoiler
one
right.
better.
OC Jacob says if he had it, he would use it.
No, he can't use it. Like,
You can't use it until he figures out how to make a rocket. That-
no, but even if he used it, it's game over, right? Everyone knows
Yeah.
it. As soon as he actually executes on that
Oh yeah,
threat,
yeah.
it's game over.
what, North Korea be annihilated?
North Korea will get nuked by America, and when America nukes,
But there's so many like innocent people in North Korea.
Well, then top keck.
I mean, realistically, for the security of the world, once they do launch an actual nuke, it has to be done, right? And like, how do I put it? North Korea has been so backwards for so long that
Yeah.
this is almost their only way, that they're holding the world hostage or security hostage.
They're terrorists.
Yep.
They're freaking terrorists.
but they're worse, or they're bad at it as well.
Mm.
No, they're terrorists, but they're extremely, and I mean like even more than ISIS, they're extremely convinced that they're innocent.
Mm.
Here's the thing though.
Yep.
Do we happen to know if America has any way to defend against a nuke? And I mean like not a nuclear explosion. I mean, do they have any way of like shooting the nuke out of the sky?
So you can shoot down ICBMs, you can shoot down
The
surface missiles,
Fads.
but the issue is the fallout. But it isn't that bad, so to speak.
But if they shoot at the nuclear missile, won't it just combust in the air?
No. So
Really?
a nuke is like, you got to combine two halves, so to speak, for it to go off.
Yeah.
So before detonation, it doesn't do the combination.
So, but isn't the combination of chemicals inside the nuke missile itself?
No.
Yeah. Oh, it has to have to
Okay.
do with pressure as well.
Yeah.
Like you have to detonate something, and that causes pressure, which causes the explosion.
So they have a
So
way.
without the actual,
So they have a way to kind of like hit the missile, but not have the nuke activate. Does that make sense?
I mean, so Camille is saying that there's no way to intercept an ICBM. I'd say the point is it hasn't been shown so far.
Sashkra says you cannot
Okay,
reliably shoot down a nuclear missile.
But also the problem is that North Korea would only have one, or let's assume they only have one. If they shoot their load now, they have nothing to negotiate with.
If they blow their load, that's premature.
I said that.
Okay, well I'm just repeating. that then.
Yeah.
If only we had a
They shoot it down while it's
If only
still
we had
on
a-
the way.
if only we had a space laser.
If only we had a NASA specialist. A missile
Gee,
specialist.
if only America gave NASA a bit more money to develop a space laser that can shoot down missiles from the sky.
Pew 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 pew. Pew.
Yeah, pew 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 indeed. Not just shoot it down, but like disintegrate them so they don't even mix and explode. Gee, America, you could have sorted this out with a little bit of money for NASA. Jeez.
Crony Cave says an EMP will disable its firing mechanism.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck getting an EMP into North Korean territory without it getting shot out of the sky.
Yeah, you know what? I think they should still like my plan is to have spies disable these missile programs.
Oh.
Yeah, good
So-
luck with that too.
Cool.
Stuxnet.
Just like go in there and disable all the nukes.
I reckon just go to South Korea, get a chocolate, hunt down the ghost, problem solved.
The ghosts.
StarCraft.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I didn't get that because I don't play StarCraft.
Oh, sorry, you lost me at Chaguli.
Yeah.
Dracon says Trump is keeping everyone busy, so we don't look into his cheating. Yeah, so we don't look into the Russia thing. He's
Well,
just
you know what?
diverting
I don't
all
care
the
about it.
attention.
Well, you know what? Well played, President Trump. Well played. I don't care about your Russia thing right now because we might get news.
He's smarter than he looks, in my opinion. He's playing the media pretty well.
Yeah, well, he looks extremely dumb, so that's not really.
It
hard
doesn't
to-
matter. Like he wants to keep his presidency, and he's diverting all the attention. He's smart.
Well, you know what? This is probably the most terrifying way of diverting your
Yeah,
diverting
like,
everyone's attention. But okay.
At the same time, it's scary, but at the same time, I feel like North Korea doesn't have the trump card yet, so to speak.
Can we also
Huh?
confirm or deny if they have if the same missile that can hit Guam can supposedly hit part of Australia?
I think it can.
I think we're too far.
You think we're okay?
Are we too far? Or are we
Yeah,
not?
well, we're
'Cause
like-
I heard something like that. Anyway.
We're like us end of the world almost. Wait, no, we're us end of the world from the US. From Korea, maybe it might be able to hit us.
Instead of hitting us with a nuclear weapon, why can't they just use some sort of like biological?
That could well. to
Delivery's always hard.
Yeah.
Mm.
Plus, I think developing a biological weapon is a little bit harder than.
Takes too
developing-
long
I
to
don't
kill
know.
people.
Does it? I mean,
Mm.
sorry. I mean, is developing a biological weapon as hard, if not harder, than
A nuke?
developing a nuke? Or
They
is
had
it
that
easier?
technology like long
So-
time ago.
I think it's easier to handle a nuke because you can control when it goes off and where it goes, and you can control the production process. Whereas issues with the biological weapon would be dissemination, so like delivery,
Mm.
as well as storage and production.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sashgra says Hwasong 12 missile is a medium range, can only hit Guam. They tested the Hwasong 14, which has much longer range and it can hit Australia. Justin's like,
Are you
haha,
saying croissant?
haha, Australia, you're doomed.
Yeah, we're doomed.
Oh, that's pretty
Doomed.
fucked. Yeah.
But again, it's the same thing as
On
it's the
another
same thing
news.
Sorry, it was the same thing that
Yeah.
one of us was saying just then. Kim Jong Un only has one nuke at the moment, so he should.
How are we so sure he only has one?
Strategically?
It's easy to fake a nuke as well, though. All you need to do is spread out nuclear material that gets picked up by satellites.
Right. But like, if he has one nuke, then strategically he shouldn't use it on us.
Camille says bio and chem weapons are prohibited by the Geneva Convention. And
You think Kim Jong Un?
yeah, exactly. I was thinking, do you think he gives a fuck?
Damn about that?
I think he's just gonna do whatever he
He doesn't
takes.
even care about his own haircut.
Yeah, but on another news, on China's side, the UK was it no UN convention or UN has just approved the sanctions that China or Beijing has put through. So they're not trading with North Korea anymore in terms of buying things from them, buying certain things from them. I think it's about $1 billion worth of trade, which they're gonna cease. Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, cool.
I mean, they already had sanctions beforehand, but these are additional sanctions as well. So I think Trump should just shut the fuck up about the Chinese people not doing enough.
Wait, so
Right.
the Chinese have stopped trading with North Korea on a bunch of things.
Yeah, I just
They're
don't
not-
know what they are. Let me just bring it up.
Okay.
So there's always accusations about under the table trading, which
Yeah.
guaranteed happens.
Of course, they are corrupted bunch, Chinese people.
Let's also. I also want to
Oh.
bring up something that I heard today. Sorry, go on.
Coal, iron, and wait, let me see. Imports.
Coal, iron, and.
Coal,
something else.
iron,
Okay,
and
that's
ore.
pretty big.
Sorry, coal, iron, ore, and key goods. Key
Goods.
goods. I don't know.
Like
Yeah.
food.
So UN approved sanctions over North Korea's nuclear program.
One more thing. Trump's always like, China needs to do something. China needs to do something. The thing about China not doing something is, remember, China is still sort of not entirely happy with America. Like,
Yeah,
sure,
because
like,
America's
they don't. Yeah.
like has
Sure,
that missile thing near them, the THAAD thing near them.
Well, I was thinking more in terms of China's still sort of communist and America is extremely capitalist.
yeah, but like
so
how
In
China
their nature,
governs
they're kind of against each other.
how China governs their like area should really have nothing to do with the US, and they
No, but I mean, like, no, hang on. So, like, the reason why China is not entirely ready to, like, go at North Korea militarily or, like, by any other means outside of these sanctions is because, like, if you're looking from China's perspective, what they're probably thinking, and what probably makes a bit of sense, is if they go against North Korea and North Korea completely falls, right? If they defeat North Korea, then South Korea will take over North Korea, and then it'll be a Korea, like a proper regular Korea now, which is something that we haven't seen in a while. But it will be a like U.S. ally.
yeah
proper
and
Korea.
US ally at
But
your
that-
doorstep. China doesn't like that.
Yeah, it will be a U.S. ally Korea on the border of China,
yeah.
which also means that the military base that is in South Korea will also move to North Korea, which means China suddenly has a U.S. military base on their ass.
Yeah, which is
And that's a little bit
yeah.
weird. That's gonna be
China
a bit
doesn't
weird.
like that at all. That's why they
Yeah.
want to have North Korea still up as a state, but at the same time they're having trouble controlling it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Trump could be all like, yeah, China should do something,
China. He
but-
says China, not China. Okay.
Oh, he says China.
Okay. I found out what the third item is. Fish. China
Oh.
gonna stop buying fish from North Korea. I guess they have to buy fish from
Ew.
like
Buying fish
Australia.
from North Korea.
Pardon?
Crap. they were buying fish from North
They
Korea?
were
I thought they'd
buying
be selling
coal,
fish.
iron, lead ores, and
Oh, wait,
fish.
they wouldn't be selling fish either.
And they
Oh.
are going to stop processing these imports from the 5th of September. So in less than a month's
Okay.
time.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just
China
wonder-
is North Korea's largest trading partner, accounting for 90% of North Korea's total trade.
Well, that is
Wow.
that is totally
But
unsurprising.
you know what? I'm just worried because, like, what about the people are already starving in North Korea? Without the trade, then these people are gonna die.
Well, it's gonna push him to the edge, right? Like as you lose more and more humanitarian aid or means to get food,
And
you have to do something.
doesn't that mean that Kim Jong Un's gonna go psycho from this?
Probably.
Means he's gonna lose weight.
He's gonna lose weight.
Kim Jong sticking bones soon.
Yeah. John Doe
But yeah,
says
we
China
probably
should
don't
take over North Korea then, which is also going to be the same. They're going to have the US at their doorstep if they take
they don't
over
want to
North
have
Korea.
the US on their ass. That's the point.
Yeah. Oh, another news. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Iran is really unhappy with the US, and they have boosted their missile program by $500 million, and they are saying death to America. Have you guys heard about this?
Wow.
What?
No, I
So
have
hang on.
not.
Are they essentially breaking the sanctions that the US placed on them?
Yeah. So it's in. If you want to read about this, it's on Discord Chill Corner. So Iran is putting more investment into their missile program, an extra $500 million, and because of those sanctions, and they're saying that the politicians were shouting "Death to America." Yeah. So it's
well, there we
very
go then.
scary. Like, I'm very scared to even read something like this. But if you guys know anything about, you know, this new development in Iran, let me know. Let us know. Or if you're like from any part of that country. Yeah.
I just want to say, not surprising, but I'm actually a little bit surprised.
You're not that surprised?
No, I'm not terribly surprised, but I kind of thought it would. Like, yeah, whatever.
I just feel like there's a lot of nukes in the US direction right now, and it's scary because, you know, whenever the US goes into some sort of conflict, Australia joins the US as well.
Yeah, we are obliged to join in through the Anzac Treaty. Still a thing. So, whatever. And Britain not necessarily, because they didn't jump in with everything. Yeah, so it's mostly wherever America goes, we end up going with them.
Ice Addict says, what about the 400 million bribe Obama gave them?
That's the sanction, isn't it?
Well,
Was it? I don't know.
the so-called bribe. I don't know too many details about that.
I just know that during the Obama era, they brought Iran to the table by having some sort of weird some weird sanction thing happening. It totally annoyed conservative people, but it happened anyway, and yada yada yada.
Well, they always, I mean, the reason for Iran being so pissed off, besides the sanction, is they're saying that it's because of the US that there's so many terrorists. Or, I mean, it's the US fault that the
It's
terrorists.
the meddling in the region.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they didn't
Yeah.
invade, you know, within the region, there wouldn't be these terrorist organizations that they have to deal with. So they really hate the US right now.
If they didn't straight up like cause the deaths of Saddam Hussein, Bin Laden, Gaddafi, there wouldn't be an ISIS apparently. Like apparently no, like
It's
seriously,
true.
that's what well, at least that's what Gaddafi and co. That's what they said. Like, guys, you think I'm bad, but I'm keeping the worst people from being even worse.
Hype Train
Right.
and Justin reckons that the media is trying to escalate things and trying to make it sound worse than it actually is.
Yeah, probably.
I don't really know personally when it comes to, you know, I think they're reporting on facts though. the fact that they're saying death to the U.S. Like all this is factual. So I don't know how it could be like media blowing things out of proportion when they're not saying their opinion. They're reporting on facts.
Yeah, like Iran boosting a missile program by $500 million.
That's passed.
That by itself, that's it.
That bill was passed. Like that's a fact. It's been passed as a bill. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Hype Train says other countries have threatened the US with terrorist attacks and nuke threats since Bill Clinton years. So basically, you're saying that the media is covering it way more and it's just escalating things. I think I was saying something very similar about North Korea. Like I was saying North Korea has been threatening the region around it for like decades, for many years now. Just so that they can get money from the surrounding countries, like from Japan and from South Korea.
I also wonder if it's probably something to do with maybe like the improvement of technology makes it easier to report these things. Maybe
It's easier to make nukes. It's easier to make missiles.
Yeah. It's probably also easier to like report. Like I'm talking about like the journalism from the journalistic point of view. Like as pointed out, like it's this kind of thing has been happening since the Clinton era. Is that right? Anyway, during the Clinton era, that was 19 whatever. I don't know if it was harder to report on this kind of stuff.
Monjay has the opposite idea. Monjay reckons media always cover things up to make people's minds at ease. I think there's like two sides to media. At one point they also want to have sensational news because it's great for their business. People want to read sensational news. That's why they report on it, and they will always have headlines where it makes people interested to kind of like check out the website or pick up the paper and buy the paper. And then at the same time they have other conflicts as well, like if they have like particular political view or something like that, they'll try to push those type of news. Like it shouldn't really be like that, but it is, unfortunately, because it's
either way, what a world we live in.
Yeah.
The media is either covering things up so we don't know about it, or they're hyping everything up so we're afraid. Face it, guys. We're doomed.
we're fucked. Time to play some HoTs.
Yeah, we're doomed. You guys have fun with HoTs. I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Aww.
I have work tomorrow. It's 11:30.
Okay. You get some rest. Yeah. So yeah, we are done with the news. So thank you so much, our time, Amy and Katagari, for joining the news panel. If I see you in the stream chat, sorry that you couldn't join us this week. Hopefully you can join us next week. Those of you on Discord, I'm gonna head off now, but super appreciate your input and thanks for making us laugh, and yeah. I hope you have a good night.
No HoTs?
Yeah, no, we're gonna play
Thanks
HoTs.
for having
I'm
us.
just saying good night to you
Oh.
guys that are in Discord. You're welcome to stay here as well. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, okay.
news just came in. A prominent black CEO quits Trump's manufacturing council over Charlottesville
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
response.
Totally unsurprising.
And the president immediately fires back. I wonder what he said.
Probably something with a spelling error.
Hold on. This category. Trump attacked him on Twitter, saying more time to lower rip-off drug prices. What the fuck?
Wait,
That makes
What?
that makes no
What?
fucking sense. I'm sorry, guys. I feel so sorry for you guys living in the States. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Well, all you guys live in the States. Wow.
Well, I feel sorry for the world, actually. Yeah.
But primarily the States, because they have to
Because you guys have to put up with
take the full brunt of it.
with that. Yeah. So,
Alright.
yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys had a good time, and I hope you'll join me
Hope
for
you
the
guys
next
enjoyed
news
this
panel.
Fake news. Wrong fake news media.
Join me next week for more
Bad.
fake news. Yeah.
Sad.
Freaking hell. Alright, I'm gonna get myself out of Discord, and I'm gonna close the door because my cat's being silly. I'll be right back.
Alright, I'm out. Peace.
Good night.
Alright, see ya then.
Right, that was very interesting. I hope you guys had fun watching. We're gonna play some HoTs now. I don't usually play HoTs on Monday. Originally, I wanted to play Dream Daddy because it's a game that's been highly rated by a lot of people that's played it before. But I can't get my Steam to work. There's some issue with loading it or something like that. So we'll try to do that next time. Big shout out to Edtime and also Aoi and also to Katagari for helping out with the news. It was very interesting and we had a few funny moments as well. Thanks for your humor, Avi. You want my cat? No debate. You can't have my cat. You'll be my dream daddy. Alright, we're gonna play a few games of HoTs and I really hope you guys will enjoy it as well. It's a relatively new type of game. I suppose they changed it very recently this year. I've been playing it a lot and it's really fun for me. It's not the same as League, obviously. A lot of people think that it's same as League, but it's very different. The objectives are different and like there's a lot of lore behind the characters. If you love World of Warcraft, there's some World of Warcraft characters in there, Diablo characters in there. And I just want to kind of show you guys how much fun it is. Mad Cat, thank you. Oh yeah, and also just an update about movie night. Movie night is happening on Thursdays and it's for my subs and patrons. So if you haven't already yet, and if you have a Prime account, feel free to chuck me a nice sub. It will help support the stream. Super appreciate it. And for those of you that really enjoyed the news part of the stream today, it's something that I do regularly. So if you want to catch up with the news, if you want to be part of the news panel, you want to give your inputs and everything like that, you're very welcome to join me. And all you have to do is follow me on Twitch and turn on your notifications. I usually do news every Monday nights. And sometimes if I can't make Monday nights, I'll try to make it up on a different day. Should we discuss GOT? I know! I want to talk about GOT, but I know some of you guys haven't watched the latest episode yet, so I'm going to relegate the GOT discussion to Thursday night, where I don't stream on Thursday nights, but we're going to be watching some movies on, on Thursday night. And then we can talk about GOT and whatever movie that we're watching. Revan says, I'm sort of new to your stream. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm very happy that you're here. No spoilers. We're not going to talk about any spoilers today. Thank you so much for the follows. I see those follows coming in. Thank you so much. GOT is on sale on Steam. Oh, you mean the game GOT? I played the game GOT. It's actually pretty good. If you haven't bought it yet, it's really, really... it's good. You can see Marjorie in there as well. F-San says it's so early. We're still playing. We're gonna play a game right now. Thanks for checking out my Patreon. You can see my photo shoots, my 18 plus photo shoots. No nudity because I don't do that stuff. And plus my mum monitors me online, so I wouldn't dare. What is the clock? What's the time? It's 11:44, so 1:45 midnight. So just going to load up my Heroes of the Storm. Who wants to play with me? Heroes of the Storm. You literally got me to follow because you mentioned Game of Thrones. Oh, by the way, I asked this at the start of the stream, but I want to know who else is in love with Game of Thrones, because I want to create like some sort of Game of Thrones club thing, like a Game of Thrones discussion theory. I want to talk about all the different characters on Game of Thrones. I'm sorry for the loud sounds coming through. Okay, looking for a party on HoTs. And so if you are a big fan of Game of Thrones, type 1 on the stream chat. I want to see who you are. I'm gonna start creating. I'm actually gonna do it now. I'm gonna create a Game of Thrones channel on my Discord. Game of Thrones. It's a text channel, and everyone can join. Alright, so that's in my Discord. I will write down some stuff in there once I get started with it. So all those of you that type 1 on the stream chat, get onto Discord and join the Game of Thrones channel. I want to see how many people are interested, and then we can talk about all the stuff Game of Thrones related. We're going to talk about spoilers, we're going to talk about leaks, we're going to talk about our theories. We're going to theory craft on it if you want to. If you don't want to see spoilers, we'll make sure that there's going to be like a spoiler alert thingy mabob, and then we might make sure that it's hideable. So if you don't want to see spoilers, you can still join but not see the spoilers. If you make Dark Matter channel, I will join. What's a Dark Matter channel? Yes, you need to join Discord. You just need to like type exclamation mark Discord, and then the link will be there, and then just click on the link, and then it's pretty easy to get yourself a Discord account, and then you can just link your Twitch to Discord, and then like you'll talk to each other. So if you're a sub or if you're a patron, then your status is automatically updated as well. Hi, Well, welcome back. Alright, we are going to get started with HoTs. I was going to say Game of Thrones. Yes, hell yeah, Game of Thrones. Oh, Dark Matter is a sci-fi TV show. Is it as good as GOT? There's nothing that's like better than GOT right now for me anyway. HoTs, why not GOTs? Because it's not GOT's day today. So for those of you that want to join, send me a whisper or send Kuroshiki a whisper. Just make the 18 plus a thing where you have to click OK before you can view the chat. Oh, I will have a look at that. You're up to season 3. Oh, you're watching together with your family? Our time Sin says, I'm going to start watching GOT. Well, you should. Get up to speed with us, because I think we're 8 episodes in season 1. I've already watched everything. I just like watching GOT again and again, because I'm like a freaking massive fan. You prefer GOT 7 over GOT. Shush you. Alright, do we not have anyone who wants to play Heroes? If no one wants to play Heroes, I'm going to play by myself. Play a quick match. Actually, I should play a ranked game. We'll play a quick match, and then we'll play a ranked game after that. Alright, I've just queued up for a game. I'm a GOT weeb. Dark Matter is as good as GOT without the nudes. If you like sci-fi, then that's your TV show. I love sci-fi. I haven't had the chance to watch a lot of TV shows though recently, and I've only made time for GOT only because I love how amazing the story is. And I've just recently downloaded the books, and I'm reading through the first book, and it goes into so much more detail about like what the character is talking about, the mindset of the character when each, like I have the scenes, the TV scenes in my head when I'm reading with the books, but at the same time, like you get to hear the thoughts of the characters. So I highly recommend checking out the book. If you haven't already checked it out, I think it's worthwhile buying the books and reading it. We'll play HoTs in the future. I like the sex scene in GOT. I like the non-rape scenes in GOT. Google, thanks for your follow. We're in non-book territory now. Milka FPS. I'm really worried about the next episode. I couldn't help myself, but I checked out this YouTube video, and I didn't realize that the YouTube video was actually going to go through supposedly leaked scripts. I thought it was just going to go through like a preview from the trailer for what's going to happen in the next episode and kind of analyze and theory craft, but apparently it was about the leaked scripts or something like that. And I was a little bit upset that they were talking about it, but at the same time I couldn't stop listening to it. So I'm not going to talk about it here. I don't want to like spoil it for you guys here. Okay, the game just started.
Get your stuff together.
I am playing a tank. So I'm playing as Diablo. I look like a Murloc because it's a skin. And basically for this map, there will be doubloons. I like to call them dumblons. Doubloons where we have to pick them up and then we try to hand it in. And then what happens when you have enough doubloons, it creates some sort of like missiles that fires against their base. And once we kill their nexus, we win. So this is just to get vision. I'm gonna die. Leave me alone. I should go back. My team is silly. So there's no last hitting in this game. Basically, we try to get as much experience as possible, because every single time you get to a particular tier level, we can get talents, which helps us build better. That's not a real. We don't actually have a soak for the top lane, so I'm gonna go up to soak. They've gotten everything, I think. Yeah. So at the bottom right, you can see the number of doubloons there are that we hold. Right now, the other team has all of it, I think. See, they've got 4, so my team's trying to kill him. I'm trying to get the experience so that we'll have a level advantage.
This one must perish.
Raven says, kind of surprised you said my name correctly. How else do people say your name? What should I get from the shadows? This increases my range for charging. I've got 2 skills that charges. What are they doing? We need a mid soak. Don't know where they are.
We should capture this mercenary
Looks like your enemies all paid up. Fire!
Alright, they're gonna fire on us because they've got all of the balloons. Did I say your name wrong again? This time around? Thank you so much for the cheer, Dr. Markovsin MD. Super appreciate it. How you doing? Revan? Oh. Revan. Sorry, dude.
I think they've had enough.
They're catching up in levels. Or they're surpassing us in levels. Because no one's soaking at bot. Reduces ability. Oh, spell armor. Well, they have 3 at mid, so it should be fine for me to keep farming up here. Fuck me. They're asking me what I'm doing. I'm soaking, that's what I'm doing.
Hope you're in the mood for some treasure, matey.
By myself. Help out my team. You lost someone?
Wow, don't pull any punches or anything.
I had to pick that up. Ah, gotta go. I'm gonna die. I need to not die, otherwise I'm gonna drop my coins. We are a little bit down. Need level 10. They gonna get it soon. Level 10 gives us another talent, so we don't want to be too far behind. So they're level 10 now, so if we get into any fights with them, we're going to be at a disadvantage. Good fighting. I don't think I fought very well.
We should capture this mercenary.
Yeah, no shit. Get Apocalypse. Doubloons. We should do a hand in. If we hand in, we can do some damage to their base.
Your enemy has
Ah,
it out
fuck.
for you.
Let's get some siege camps. Bruiser camps.
Well then, who's got the coin for me service?
To victory.
Why? Why is he there? Oh my god. If you really let them have all those coins, I'm gonna cry. He's got 9 coins with him. too. I fucked my life. Where did my team go? Why did they leave me? Oh my god. Please don't die. Oh, I didn't pick everything.
Seems we've reached an accord. Let's show your enemies a jolly good time.
Ah. Fuck.
Still squirming. Bro. Way to go, guys. Higher, you blaggers.
My team just runs away really fast. Let's get devastating charge.
Cease fire! If they want more, they'll need to pay up first.
This map is stressful. I think it's just the way I'm playing. We're 2 levels behind. I need to go up top.
Looks like your foe beat you to it. Let this be a lesson.
We're
to
gonna
ya.
lose all our turrets.
Don't wait for me. Fire, you idiots. All cannons hold! Oh, there goes the fort.
Gotta go. Let's get this.
We should capture this mercenary camp.
Your enemy has
I
it
think
all.
this is a little bit risky.
Hey, fort gone. That's us.
I don't know why I agreed. Too greedy. We shouldn't have done that. We just gave them like the doublons. I mean doublons. Doublons. Dumblons. Alright, have a good night, Dr. Makasin.
Don't be working for free.
That was silly. We shouldn't have done that. What are they doing? This is not great. We're like 2 levels behind. 3 levels behind. What talent can I get? I was trying to save him. GG to my team. This turret's gonna go the next time they collect the doublons.
Let's see how you handle 2 chests at once.
We're not gonna handle anything. No. Bad idea.
Looks like your pole beat you to it. Let this be a lesson to you. Hey, port gone. That sucks.
Press on to victory.
What is that guy doing?
Old Blackheart's got a gift for you.
Oh, I'm not gonna 4v5.
Yo, core under attack. Well, who's got the coin for me, sir? Alright, what'd I miss? Looking over there.
GG.
Guys, the enemy's attacking the core.
Freaking hell! I'm so squishy!
Oh my gosh, it's gone!
That Nova.
Get out of the way!
Thank you so much for the cheer! Oh my god, Dr. Mark of Sin. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining us today. Oh, finish it up. Nice.
Hey, core is under attack.
I wonder what type of games I'm gonna get if I play ranked now. Probably really shocking ones. My screen just froze. Squishy. I didn't realize how squishy I was. My screen froze again. What's happening? I can't find my mouse. My mouse is missing. I think I just had a failure. Hardware failure. My mouse isn't working.
Don't want to alarm you, but the core is under attack.
My mouse stopped working. Oh. My mouse is back. No, it's... Oh.
Defeat.
Oh no!
MVP.
My mouse stopped working for part of that game. So sad. But we were gonna lose anyway, so it doesn't matter. Moral support officer. Please don't report me for AFK. That was an unfortunate game. I'm not very good at that map. I don't really usually play that map very well. I usually play support for that map. Hi Fat94, welcome to the stream. It's a surprise movie. It's only for subs and Patreon, so yeah. How's it going? Hey Fat94, why don't you just put the verified thing next to your name? You're partnered, right? You're a partnered streamer. I know it carried me. I was wondering, I was pondering to myself, am I gonna get like some awesome ranked games tonight? But then like at this hour, I feel like we're not gonna get some quality games, so I'm just playing some quick matches. You're not a sub, I know. Oh, you're not verified, partner. Why don't you just like apply? Oh, Saki. Wanna play? Oh, shoot. My keyboard doesn't work. Fuck, luckily I didn't queue into a game. I think my USB isn't working. Why isn't my keyboard working? Oh. Guys, my keyboard's not working. I can't play. I have a PS4. I can't type anything. If my keyboard doesn't work, I can't play. It's really sad. It looks like I have to end the stream because there's a few things that's not working on my computer right now. And it's getting a little bit late. It's like midnight and I've got work tomorrow, so it isn't, look, it's not lit up or anything. Yeah. Shush you, Mikey. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. We're gonna be doing a hot stream, so I hope you guys liked a little bit of the sample of the game that I've showed you guys. I will play better tomorrow, I promise. But right now I cannot type anything. I can only use my mouse right now. So I hope you guys had fun watching this stream. If you haven't already yet, feel free to chuck me a follow. Turn on your notifications if you enjoyed today's news part of the stream as well. We have that on a weekly. And usually for the weekdays, I'm trying to make it so that it's hot streams, and then for the weekends, it's IRL streams. So all my schedule is in spec.me, and if you type !schedule, you'll be able to see when I'm going to be on next. Less than 24 hours, I'll be back live again. So thank you so much for your patience and for checking out this stream, and I hope you guys had a wonderful night watching it. I'll have a lot of streaming time soon according to my yesterday. What are you talking about? I can't raid because I can't type on my keyboard. Like, you can hear me smacking my keyboard, right? It literally doesn't work. So I can't type or do a raid. Okay. So I will do a raid tomorrow. Yeah. Anyway, have a good night. Thank you so much for joining me and enlightening me with the news and the discussion as well. What else do I have to say? Movie nights on Thursday, hot stream tomorrow. We will definitely find a controversial topic to talk about before we start streaming hot, so that's a given. I can't copy and paste. Yeah, no, it just can't be fucked. Like, whenever I get some sort of equipment failure, I just can't be fucked with raiding Shiki. But I would love to, but it'll just like take half an hour to raid anyone because I can't work properly without my equipment, without my keyboard. I didn't even know there was a host button. Yeah. Yeah, so have a good night. Thank you so much for joining me today. If it's daytime for you, I hope you have a wonderful day. If it's nighttime, I hope you have a beautiful night. Sweet dreams. I will see you tomorrow. This is Jen Star signing out. Or Jenna Cloud signing out. I haven't said Jen Star in such a long time. Jenna Cloud signing out.